Hey, this is Samantha here from RecipeThis.com and the voice behind the popular Kitchen Gadgets podcast, Magic with Gadgets. Today, I want to show you how easy it is to cook air fryer pigs in a blanket. Well, before we dive into this recipe, I just wanted to suggest that you head over to RecipeThis.com. We've got more than 1,200 kitchen gadget recipes, including recipes for the air fryer, instant pot, slow cooker, soup maker, bread maker, microwave, Ninja Foodie, and many others. We also have a free weekly newsletter, which you can find on the homepage of RecipeThis.com, or you can find it on RecipeThis.com/newsletter. And there you can get our best kitchen gadget recipes sent to your inbox every Friday morning. There's often a lot of confusion with pigs in a blanket, and that's because it sounds very similar to the UK favourite of pigs in blankets. Note that pigs in blankets that we have in the UK is basically a cocktail sausage wrapped in bacon. And we often have it as part of our roast dinner, and it's especially a thing on the Christmas lunch menu. Whilst pigs in a blanket, the longer version, is the American thing, and theirs, instead of wrapped in bacon, it's wrapped in pastry. So we'll be using our homemade air fry pie crust to make this with, but of course you can use any pastry that you've got on hand. And of course, you could swap out the sausages. For example, we're using little cocktail sausages, whilst you could also use little hot dogs or some little sausages that you've got available. It just depends on what you've got in, but trust me, they taste delish. You know, what you will need for this is some little cocktail sausages. I got some Richmond frozen ones because they're out of season right now, so it was the easiest option. And you also need some egg wash, and you'll also need some pastry. This is made using our homemade pie crust. So if you search RecipeThis.com for pie crust, then you'll find this recipe there. And we also need a rolling pin so that we can roll out the pastry. And then I recommend some extra flour. The flour I recommend is B-roll. It's a quality flour, so it produces a better end result with your baking. I've used it since I was little. It was my grandma's favourite flour of choice, and I can always tell the difference whenever I use some cheap flour. So now that I've run through the ingredients, you need to be rolling out your pastry. I recommend a good flouring on your worktop. And then also use that same flour to dab your hands with, and then to dab your rolling pin with. And then once you've done that, you're ready to roll out your pastry. I mentioned it was the pastry that we've got on Recipe This, but also note this is half of our pastry, because what we have over there is we have one that is made with 8 ounces worth of flour. So what I've done here is I've made my normal 8 ounce, and I've halved it and made some homemade sausage rolls, and I've made this so that I can show you videos for both of them. So this isn't going to make as many pigs in a blanket that are on Recipe This, and that's because, like I said, I've halved the mixture. So I'm just going to do a smaller amount just to show you how easy they are to make in the air fryer. So if you go down there, like that, and then the same again, like that, and then separate them, and then go diagonal, diagonal again. They don't have to be perfect, by the way. It's just an easy way of doing it. Some pieces are bigger than others. And then once you've done this, you're ready to add your sausages. I recommend doing the sausages from semi-frozen. So these have been out a couple of hours, because then it's easier for them to come together and for the pastry and the sausage to be cooked at the same time. So now what I recommend you do is you simply roll it up. And then before you get to the end, a bit of egg wash, Apologies for my hands, I've left my pastry brush at home. And then just like that, you've got your first one. And then of course it's rinse and repeat. So egg wash at the end there. And then roll it up like that. And then you're done. And then another one. Across it goes like that. And then again. As you can see, this is a funny shaped one, but it really doesn't matter because they taste absolutely amazing in the air fryer. 2 more to go. Put some egg wash at the end there. Last one. And there you go, you have your 6. And then one of my favourite things is to make ahead. I've got the rush out on the school run, so I'm not going to have a chance to finish these until tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load them onto a plate, and then I can keep them in the fridge till tomorrow, and then I can air fry them then. You know, so if you are doing these for Christmas or for Thanksgiving, then just note that you could make them a couple of days ahead if you wanted to. So just you can add your egg wash before they go in the fridge. There you have it, they're ready for the fridge, and then tomorrow we can air fry them and have them as a nice brunch. So it's the next day. I made some pigs in a blanket yesterday, and now I've just grabbed them from the fridge and they're ready to go in the air fryer. So we already did the egg wash yesterday as well, so literally all we need to do is place them in the air fryer and then let them cook. I'm going with a little less time than I do my sausage rolls because they're much smaller. Turn on your air fryer. You're looking for a temperature of 200 Celsius, that's 400 Fahrenheit. And then we're going to start with a cook time of 8 minutes, which should do them, but at least we can check on them in case they need any longer. And then press start. And we've beeped. So let's check on the pigs in a blanket, shall we? And wow, they look absolutely amazing. And a little tip when you're doing these, they're easier to put together and cook better if you actually use frozen cocktail sausages rather than thawed ones. And then you wrap them up whilst they're thawing out, and it adds so much more flavour and it makes them so much easier to handle and to cook with. So I'm just going to wait for them to cool down and then I can try them. Right, so the pigs in a blanket have had long enough to cool down a little bit, and let's tuck in. Oh god, these taste so good. I mean, just look at the inside of them, they just look absolutely perfect. And I have to make, at Christmas time, a batch of these and a batch of sausage rolls, and then you've got a mixture of things to choose from. And they're great for using up your pastry when you've made some sausage rolls anyway. And you know what Christmas is like, we always have loads of cocktails, sausages hanging around, so another alternative. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Recipe This family. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook and Pinterest. We also have a weekly newsletter at recipethis.com/newsletter, where we share with you our latest kitchen gadget recipes, what we're cooking in the Milner kitchen, and so much more. As well as this, we recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then whenever we have a new video, you will be the first to know. And if you want to know about all our future videos, then I recommend you hit the bell for instant notifications. But even better, we now have a podcast. It's called Magic with Gadgets. Simply search Magic with Gadgets on your favourite podcast player and you'll find us there.